Welcome to another edition of Boomer TV. I'm Paul Poteet.
I'm Julie Patterson. Welcome.
You know, it's appropriate. It's Sunday morning. We're getting ready to go to Lucas Oil Stadium.
Oh my gosh, but not just for football. Have you ever been in the quarterback suite?
No, I've never been in the quarterback suite. That was an easy one.
I have.
Ooh.
Christmas party. Anyway, also on the field, we're going to take you to the locker room. It's going to be very exciting.
And we're also going to take you Christmas shopping, kind of, in Carmel.
At the Christkindlmarkt. Yeah, it's German. I'm not so good at German, but it's a second annual event up on the green. It's very cool. You'll love it.
We have one famous Indiana broadcaster on the show right here next to me. We have another one that we're going to meet and talk to today, Teri, Stacy.
Much more famous. She's great. You'll love her.
So we're going to find her, and then we're going to, kind of decorate things for the holidays.
We're going to get ready. It's cheery, it's fun, it's shiny. Yeah, if you need some decorating ideas for the holidays, we've got that on the show today.
Silver and gold, you know how that goes.
You weren't supposed to tell him.
Oh,
supposed to just tease him.
Oh,
That's okay.
You open up the presents sometimes before Christmas. I'm sorry.
I've never done that. You're going to love the show today, so we're glad you're watching. Sit back, grab another cup of coffee, and let's do it.
Boomer TV is made possible with support from Westport Homes, dedicated to building homes for every chapter of life, with plans and details that match customers' specific needs and style. Additional funding is provided by Altman, Poindexter, and Wyatt attorneys, serving clients throughout central Indiana with wills, trusts, and estates, with over 70 years of combined experience. Unique Home Solutions, serving more than 30,000 homeowners since 1983. Providing home remodeling services from minor updates to complete renovations with a mission to improve appearance and efficiency.
Well, for the second year in a row, up on the Carmel Green, the Christkindlmarkt.
Very good.
That was my attempt at German.
I was not told there would be foreign language
It's really
dialects
cool.
on the show.
No, they rebuild a German city on the green there in Carmel. It's beautiful.
And you can do shopping for German-themed ornaments and holiday drinks are available there too.
You can go ice skating.
Yeah, you can go
Yeah,
ice skating.
they have
So
these
it's
ice
a
skating
whole
sessions.
new
It's
little
very cool.
city within a city.
And it's worth seeing, and it's free to go.
So ho ho ho, here we go.
The Carmel Christkindlmarkt is back once again. It's bigger, it's better than ever. But what should we see? What should we do? What should we eat and drink? Maria Murphy, she's the CEO and the market master. So you are the person in the know here.
Absolutely, yeah. There's so much to do and see and eat and drink here at the market. It's hard to know where to start.
Well, let's start with the ice skating rink.
Yeah.
That was very popular last year, so have you improved and added some extra hours this year?
We haven't added extra hours, but we have added what I would say is a more efficient way to manage the flow of people on and off the ice. We do have an ability this year for the first time to make reservations online.
Okay.
So you can go to theice@centergreen.com and make your online reservations. We did have the session today sell out right at 4.
Yeah, it's very popular.
It is.
Right behind it too is something new.
It
and
is.
What do we call that? I've heard it called the whirlygig. I've heard it called the
I haven't heard that
Glutwein
one yet.
station.
Yeah, so in Germany, there's a tabletop decoration that has been made for centuries, and it's made of wood, and there are real candles put on it, and you light the candles and the heat from the candles rise and it churns the blades. And there's a spindle down the middle and then little plates with figures like nativity scenes. So when the heat rises and churns the blade, it churns the spindle and then the figures churn. And it's absolutely mesmerizing when you watch it. And so in Germany in the last 10 years, it's become popular to make giant versions of the pyramid. So what we have here at the market is the only one like it in the United States. It's called a Glühwein pyramid. So it's not the tabletop Weihnachts pyramid, which is Christmas pyramid. because in the base of it is where you serve your hot mulled spiced wine, and that's called Glühwein. So it's a Glühwein pyramid because you serve your Glühwein there.
And obviously that's something that we should taste here. So
Oh, yes, absolutely.
We want to make sure we stop there. I know that you've got some authentic, some Stollen and some Linzer tarts, real authentic
very
baked
authentic.
goods here.
There are two different bakeries that partner together for our artisan bakery booth. Sorry, it took me a minute. The Broad Garden and Luxury Cakes partner together, and they have some wonderful handmade, authentic pastries for guests to enjoy.
You've also added some other food this year too.
We have so many different options. We've got doner kebab, which is a gyro style meat. There's actually been a lot of immigration from Turkey and the Middle East into Germany, and with them they brought their food, and the most popular street food in Germany is actually a Turkish dish, which is interesting, but it's absolutely delicious, served in some nice bread and fresh vegetables in there, along with some of the gyro meat, shawarma style, where you scrape it off the cone of meat. Then we've got Kartoffelpuffer, which is like a potato pancake, Jaeger fries, which is fries with a sauce, a mushroom sauce over the top, gravy. We've got Kartoffelspieß, which is potatoes on a stick that's in a spiral form, Schnitzel, sauerkraut.
All kinds of
oh
stuff.
my,
So
I could go on and on and
work up
on.
an appetite either skating or visiting the vendors, because that is another thing that you've done this year. You've expanded the area. There are more vendors, and there's a much bigger diversity of trinkets and treasures that people can shop
Absolutely.
for.
The same staples that were so popular last year are back. Our beer krugs. We have a custom one made for Indiana. It's got an Indiana flag on it and scenes from different Indiana. Hand carved. The mold was hand carved, and then after they made them with the mold, they were hand painted. Beautiful custom gift you could give for the holidays. As well as Glühwein mugs, which were so popular last year. We ordered 10,000 boot mugs and sold out in 9 days. So we've ordered 60,000. We'll see how long they last us. As well as mouth-blown hand-painted glass ornaments and lots of wood product from an area of Germany called the Erzgebirge, which is an area of Germany that's known for its craftsmanship with lathe or wood churning.
Some real authentic things to see, to taste, to just really celebrate the season. And when the market goes away, the ice skating rink stays.
It does. It goes all the way into March. March 10th, I believe, is the final day there. And they'll have various events throughout from January to March. One of them is a really popular, they do an ice carving event where they bring in some of the top ice carvers from around the United States, and they have a competition to see who can make. Last year they did this tiger that was about as tall as I was. It was fantastic.
We'll have to come back for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a must-see.
We'll go lace up our skates, though, and enjoy a little time here at the Christkindl Market. For Boomer TV, I'm Jill Dittmeyer.
So you've been in Lucas Oil several times.
A few times,
I have
yes.
too, concerts, football games, and the like.
But you get one view of, a relatively small area right where you're sitting, and then down on the field, but you don't realize all the people that are involved.
It takes 3,000 people just to pull off a football game, I was told. Well, Glenn Bill's going to take us there. He's going to take us to the locker room, the quarterback suite, and on the field at Lucas Oil Stadium now.
Tell me what the week in the life of you getting ready to host a Colts game here at Lucas Oil, what's that look like, and what are some of the things that you have to make sure are in place?
On a game week, a week like this week, we may have many other events in the building. We have 250 or so event days a year. Wow. So right now we're getting prepared for a cheer competition that's happening. Okay. But as the game day approaches, we make sure that the field is groomed, prepared, everything is clean, ready to go. All of our security measures are in place and ready for the highest caliber game we perform, and that's the NFL Indianapolis Colts.
As we started our interview, I found myself getting more excited, just like every single fan. Wow, what would it be like to enter the Colts' legendary field?
This is our field. It's a brand new field, actually. It was just installed here in July, and it was the first time that we replaced the field. It's state of the art, able to add in conduit for pylon cams and other things like that make for some nice setup for our television crews that are in here. Over here we've got a product called Armor Deck that we cover the field with. The field is always here.
Yes.
So when we have a concert or we do something that a trade show that might be in the building, we cover the field and protect it, but it's always here. This can take semis. When we had a concert a few months ago, we had over 80 semis on the floor at the same time.
Wow.
There's some pretty interesting things that can happen.
And the turf stays down.
Turf always
and then
stays
you'll
down.
just cover it.
That's right.
How long do turf fields usually last, and how long will this field last?
So they tend to last 8 to 10 years. We had long plans and agreed with the Colts that after 10 years we would replace this field. So don't know exactly how long this one will be here, but it's brand new now. And
Anything else we should know about the field that our viewers might be interested in knowing?
well, you're standing right where the NCAA Final Four court would be, right here in the center. And we actually remove all sorts of seats around here, and there's a whole new set of seats that come in with a raised platform right here at the center for an NCAA basketball game.
As far as musical acts and concerts, how many of those, and who are some of the bigger names that have performed in Lucas Oil?
So there's been about 8 concerts here, standalone concerts, and since I've been here the last 18 months, we had U2 with the roof open. We had Taylor Swift just here in September, and so those were some really impressive ones. And we're always looking for the right fit to try to get in here so that the fans of Indianapolis can get more opportunities to use this really special building.
Action and strategy happen on the field every day, but the real action and most of the strategy happens here in the Indianapolis Colts locker room. Boy, the first thing I noticed are all the banners of all the accomplishments of our great Indianapolis Colts. Boy, there's nothing like seeing the 2006 World Champion banner hanging there.
One thing you'll notice is that there's no items in the lockers. That's because the Colts are out at their training center through most of the week, and then on Saturday they'll bring in all their materials. This will look like home, names, everything. We can add additional lockers down the middle for preseason before the squad size is cut down,
okay.
And it has all the bells and whistles in these lockers.
All the beer comes from these massive coolers. Tell me how many coolers there are that get all of our beer cold for the Colts game.
Yeah, we have 6 or so of these rooms that have tubing that goes all the way up to all of our concession stands. So every draft beer that you have throughout the building comes from one of these here at event level.
Fantastic, the holy grail of Lucas Oil right here. Let's get up to that quarterback
Let's
club.
do it.
Okay. On the way from the locker room to the quarterback suite, we visited the 2-scale Lucas Oil model. Notice that terrific open north window. Want a bunch of little Lego men and start playing in this, right?
Yeah.
How cool is that? For the greatest high-end experience at Lucas Oil, you need to visit the quarterback suite.
So the nice thing about this is everything's included in this space, and it also gives you the opportunity to mingle with your friends, whether you're seated directly next to them or not. So you can come back here, you can sit down during halftime, meet up with friends you haven't seen for a long time, enjoy a beverage and some food, and then go back out and watch the game.
This view is spectacular. Tell me a little bit about the Bud Light Party Zone and what happens there on game day.
Yeah, the Bud Light Party Zone is a fan favorite. It's a great place to mingle. You're standing on the platform in front of the window overlooking the city, concession stands, other merchandise available there. It's a great place to hang out and watch the game, especially between quarters.
And then before the games, do you have like live music? Like Dude, I think, was here last week.
Yeah, you know, we have Lucas Oil Plaza, which is the level below the Bud Light Party Zone.
Sure.
There's a horseshoe-shaped stage there, and we do have bands pregame.
All right, I love it. Well, gosh, I'm feeling so excited. I think I need to go get some gear for the big game. At this point, the only way we could top off our tour of Lucas Oil Stadium is to visit the Indianapolis Colts Pro Shop.
We've been named the #1 fan experience by Stadium Journey magazine for, I think, 6 out of the last 8 years or something like that, including last year. So,
what an impressive entry into the Colts Pro Shop. There's nothing like getting the quintessential classic Colts hat. So Eric, thank you so much for the grand tour. It's so great to be a part of the #1 facility in the NFL, the #1 fan experience in the NFL, and the #1 person that makes it all happen. So thank you so much for your time.
thank you for having me.
Very good. Well, this is Glenn Bill for Boomer TV.
All right, Julie, a long time ago in a radio galaxy far away,
Yeah?
I worked at WNAP, which was with WIBC, and I definitely remember a young lady at the receptionist desk. Very friendly, a great personality.
Oh my gosh, Teri Stacy, you have to be talking about that lovely, lovely lady.
And what a story, too. She went from that desk to on the air for years
behind the microphone.
since, yeah.
I think she's probably been there as long as anybody, but she's not that old, so I don't know how that works. Do the math. But if you haven't caught up with Teri Stacy lately, we want you to now.
Hey guys, we are here inside the WIBC studio right in downtown Indianapolis on the Circle, and with the one and only Teri Stacy. Thank you so much for letting us kind of get behind the scenes, seeing how it's all done. You are a pro at this. People know you, they know your voice, they see you. It seems like you're out everywhere in the community.
Try to be.
And you have one of my favorite stories about how you got started. So tell us like how you got here.
A long time ago, 33 years ago, I started at WIBC as a receptionist here. They wanted to see about quite possibly, adding a female. And it was just, the timing of it was that I became what was called the employee of the month. And the actual gift or prize was to hang out on the morning show with Jeff Pigeon and Bob Lamy and Joe Pickett and Fred Heckman and everybody that was a part of it at that time. I'm terrified. This wasn't what I wanted to do. So for a week I did it with Jeff Pigeon, who took very good care of me. They all did. Everybody looked after me and made sure that I was okay. And it was a tough week, and I was terrified. And they asked me if I wanted to do it again.
And the listeners loved you.
Well, they apparently, somebody did, because it kept me going. It kept me going on this radio station, and now I'm into my 33rd year, and on the mornings for 22 or 23 of those years, 24 maybe, I've lost count. You start to lose count after a while, but a long time.
Well, we know the listeners do love you, and you love Indianapolis. What is it about working in the radio here in this market that is, you've made it home?
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, it wasn't anything I ever dreamed of doing, so every day has just been a wonderful, and I know it sounds very corny, but it's like a gift that I've been given, because I'll tell you, the media is spoiled rotten. The media goes everywhere, goes to every event, every restaurant wants you to try their food, and you're really treated very well in this city, and this is a great city to be in. So to have all of these doors open for me that I never would have imagined has been just the most fun. It is the most fun. And this city, to be a part of it and to watch Circle Center being built and to see everything come to life, truly, all that we have now with the Hoosier Dome and then now Lucas Oil Stadium, and to watch downtown thrive has been incredible, and the people in it are incredible.
And you have your hands in a lot of different things, because sometimes you're listening and it's very funny, lighthearted. Sometimes you're really spreading the word about important things happening in the city. What are some of your favorite interviews to do? And
oh my gosh, it always involves, seems like it always involves kids. It always involves people that are battling something, but they're coming out on the other side, willing to share those stories. Our military, always amazing stories. The stories of mom and pops that are trying to build a business or live a dream are amazing. But I've also had that opportunity, to talk to astronauts and to talk to our first responders and to talk to people just that are walking around on Monument Circle that have an opinion about something. We are a diverse, wonderful, wonderful community, a city. Some people don't like the word community, but when I go to festivals, fundraisers, 250 of them, you were one of those. We were the first fundraisers that I got to watch come to life for our WIBC Neighbor to Neighbor program. It is just amazing to see what is being done without necessarily a government entity involved, and how quickly things can be done when these churches and individuals like you try to make something happen and make it happen.
I love it. And you really take your role as the voice of the community, in the community, sharing some of those stories that you were talking about. Do you have a favorite when you stop and think about the ones that have really made an impact?
That made an impact? Well, the truth is, with the WIBC Neighbor to Neighbor program that we do, which is going to those nonprofits, those fundraisers, that don't get the big spotlight like a lot of others do. And that program started with you. You were my very first one. And it wasn't that I had not done a million fundraisers or events before, but your story was one that I will never forget. And where you came from and what you were battling, what you were dealing with within your family, and that fundraiser that you and your family and your friends all put together and did some good.
93 WIBC, it's Teri, Stacy. Joe Clark was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer just before his 28th birthday, and just 2 months before he married his bride, Amanda. Amanda has found a way to keep friends and family updated on Joe's condition by writing a blog that we found titled Cocktails and Chemo. And she joins us now to talk about Joe, her husband, as well as this upcoming event that will happen next weekend. Just tell us about Joe.
He is pretty amazing. He's just a good-hearted person, and I think it's why it's so hard to watch something like this happen to someone, because you just know he can do so much.
They're all important, whether they're involving kids or they're involving animals, which I love so much, you know, or our veterans, or there's so many good events that are out there every weekend, every night of the week.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool
to
see how you guys, these fundraisers, really are making the world go around. That's what's working.
Yeah, well, you really do have one of the most inspiring stories, I think, as you kind of started from the bottom and have worked your way to this position in the community. So thank you so much. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
You guys, for now, I'm Amanda Clark with Boomer TV.
Happy holidays.
I know. Do you believe they're upon us, so to speak?
And so much of the fun of the holidays is, you know, some of those really early memories you have sometimes of, you know, the way your house that you grew up in looked like around Christmas time.
We all had stockings with our names on it. We would all wear the same little jammies that my mom would make. Lots of great traditions.
Yeah, Mom and Dad would spray that snow. This is how old I am.
Oh gosh,
snow
they did.
Everywhere on
we
all
didn't
the
have that in my house. But holiday traditions are a wonderful thing. Decorating for the holidays is a wonderful thing, and you're going to see how to do it maybe a little different way with this segment.
We are in this beautiful Westport home, and the holidays are upon us, and it's a perfect time to just go all out and set a beautiful table and start those family traditions. So we brought in designers to give us some tips. We have Amy Locke with us and Charity Humphrey. Thank you.
Yes, of course. We're so happy to be here.
What is one of the first tips you may have to make this come together more easily?
Just find where your passions and your likes are. You know, think about colors. You know, do you want something fancier or something more homey and warm? Just think of what your family likes, you know, and make it yours.
And Charity, you were mentioning you even wanted to do something like silver and gold, mixing that together.
Definitely. So we thought silver and gold would be a good idea because we just pulled different things. So we had, we have the silver placemats, but then we also have gold. So then that way you can have more things to choose from. So that's why we chose the silver and the gold.
I love how you layered all of this. And so is it just got a charger, and then this looks like it would be heavy and ornate, and then they weren't even very expensive either, were they?
No, I got these, they were 4 for $8 at Home Goods. So you can get them very affordable, but then we had Amy's China, so then you can dress it up a little bit. So yeah, we just layered it, and you would think that the placemat would be underneath the charger, but we wanted to add that extra layer, if you will.
It's so fun, and I love the deer, so that's something much more modern.
The deer actually were very reasonable. I got this tall deer for around $20, and the smaller ones for about $15. So that's the beauty of this whole table. You don't have to spend a fortune on designing a table.
As designers, what should happen in the middle of the table? So I notice you kind of go up and then it comes back down. Is there some thought and theory behind what do we place where?
You want to layer things, and to layer it, you have to have height. So you want to bring height to the middle of the table, and then you also want to be very cognizant that to make it real, because when you have guests on each side of the table, you really want to be able to talk to people. So sometimes, you'll see people with a grand piece in the middle, but it's not realistic because you can't really communicate.
Right, then
so
you can't see each other.
Those are things you want to be cognizant of, or be aware of, is bringing the height. That's what gives it that glam kind of thing, is the height, and the layering for the tablescape.
And let me chime in as well. Make sure that it's all balanced. It has to be balanced. You can't have a bunch of stuff over here and a bunch of stuff over here. And the thing that I always think about is making sure there's things in threes. So not twos, but always threes.
Why threes? Because I think most of us would think I need an even number over here. And
Sure. My mom taught me that way back in the day. So my whole house being decorated, it's always things in threes. So if you see like it's all kind of balanced with threes. So you have the deer and the tree and the ornament. So yeah, just making sure that when you design your table that it's all balanced.
So this looks so beautiful and inviting for the family, but where do we put the food?
Good question. So nowadays you almost want to do it buffet style anyway, instead of having all the food on here. So maybe putting it on your island. So then that way if somebody does want something else, you can actually go back and get seconds. So yeah, almost more like a buffet style.
Yeah, and that's really a concept that's caught on now, where instead of just sitting down and people eating, that part of getting up and getting food and being able to really interact, for many people at a sit-down table, it really breaks the ice. So it's not so awkward.
I love how you did the lights too. So share this little secret. It's a very thin wire that you put underneath the beads.
So you intertwine the lights with the garland, if you will. And actually there's a little remote that you can change the speed on what you want to do. And it's actually all battery operated. So you don't even have to plug them in.
And you don't have to get up.
Yeah, it brings the table to life.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, it's the holidays, and thank you for making this feel warm and inviting, and I hope that you do this with your family as well to carry on those traditions. I'm Cheryl Mathis with Boomer TV.
It was a fun episode.
Yeah, that was good. We went to a bunch of different places. We go to a lot more places, like I said before, than I would go, left to my own devices. So
We got to check in with Teri.
yeah,
Oh, sweetie.
hope you enjoyed the ride. We love taking you along for the ride too. Thank you, Teri, Stacy, for joining us. Thanks for all of our reporters for joining us too.
And thank you, especially. Tell a friend. We're glad that you tuned in. We'll be back again next week.
Another Boomer TV. See you then. For more all things Boomer, just visit our website. That's indieboomer.com. Indie Boomer connects TV, magazine, and radio. It contains useful information for baby boomers all over the Indianapolis metropolitan area. And you can like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Pick up Indie Boomer magazine at most Kroger stores and libraries. Look for us all over Indy.
Listen to Boomer Radio every Saturday afternoon at 4:30 p.m. on Freedom 95 with a rebroadcast Sundays at 7:30. Indie Boomer, for the next chapter of your life.
Boomer TV is made possible with support from Westport Homes, dedicated to building homes for every chapter of life, with plans and details that match customers' specific needs and style. Additional funding is provided by Altman, Poindexter, and Wyatt attorneys, serving clients throughout central Indiana with wills, trusts, and estates, with over 70 years of combined experience. Unique Home Solutions, serving more than 30,000 homeowners since 1983. Providing home remodeling services from minor updates to complete renovations with a mission to improve appearance and efficiency.